In a comfortable seated position on your block in the center of your mat. Props are off to the side on standby. So you can sit in a cross-legged position if that's comfortable for you. If that's not comfortable, you can sit with both knees bent, feet on the ground. Zip your belly button in towards your spine nice and tight as if there's a magnet between the two. Roll the shoulder blades back like you're holding a tennis ball in place. And then crown of the head comes up toward the ceiling. Take a big inhale, lift up all the way, palms meet at the top. And then exhale, big press away. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Take two more. Inhale, nice and tall. Exhale like you're pushing something away. Last one. Inhale, lift up all the way. As you exhale begins, take a twist to the right. Your right hand will lower down like a kickstand. Left hand comes to the outside of the right leg. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, twist the torso. Sit up again as you inhale. Exhale, maybe bring your gaze over the right shoulder. One more time, inhale. Exhale, twist out all the way. Come on, back up to neutral as you inhale. Take it to the other side. Exhale, left hand behind, right hand to the outside of the left leg. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, twist. Again, inhale, get a little taller. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Maybe on this last round, looking over that left shoulder if it's comfortable on your neck. Inhale, come on, back up to neutral. And then exhale, let it go. You're going to plant your right hand down, left arm reaches all the way up and over. So you don't want spaghetti arms, you want a nice active reach as if you could touch the right side of your room with your middle fingernail. So think about hugging muscles to bones. Have a soft bend in your right elbow here. One more inhale. Exhale out all the way and then inhale, sit back up, left hand down, right arm up and over. Same idea, have a soft bend in the left elbow, nice active reach with the right arm, feeling your side body stretch. One more inhale. Exhale out all the way and then inhale to sit back up. Arms come out into a T position. Take your right arm underneath your left, hook at the elbows. Start by hugging opposite shoulders. You can stay here, or if you want to intensify, remove your hands from your shoulders. Wrap your right fingers around your left wrist. If it feels awkward, you're doing it right. Elbows and shoulders line up with each other. Belly button in tight, body tall. Inhale, lift the elbows up. Exhale, push your elbows out. Again, inhale, lift. Exhale, press. Last time, inhale. Exhale, press out all the way. Hold it there as you inhale again. And then exhale, let it go back to your T shape. Other side. Left arm. Hooks underneath the right. Start by hugging opposite shoulders. Or you can release your fingertips, left fingers around the right wrist. Inhale, lift the elbows up. Exhale, push your elbows out. Again, inhale, lift. Exhale, push. Last time, inhale. Exhale, press out all the way. Hold it there as you inhale again. And then exhale, let it go. Shake it off. Nice job. Grab your strap. Make your strap nice and wide and take your pass-throughs with your strap. So we do these quite often to open up the shoulders to help with our standing poses and make balancing poses a little bit easier. If this starts to feel easy after a while, what you can do to challenge yourselves is make your grip a little bit shorter. And opposite goes for if you're feeling a little stiff today, you need some more support, make your grip wider. Take about 3 more here. Inhale as you reach up and back, and then exhale as you return it to your lap. 1 more. And then release. Grip comes about knees width this time, a little bit shorter. Arms come up into a letter V shape, and then you're going to bend your elbows behind you, creating goalpost arms. So we want to think about symmetry here. Wrists on top of the elbows, elbows lined up with the shoulders. Try not to arch the spine too much. Rather, draw your belly button in tight, line it up with your tailbone so your torso is tall. Now pull your elbows back, kiss the shoulder blades together. Shaking is okay here, but holding your breath is not. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let that go. Give it a shake. Nice job. So you're going to toss the strap off to the side. We have a different tricep stretch this time. So carefully shift off of your blocks and into a tabletop position. So what you're going to do, you're going to take both of your blocks on the medium height. You're going to set them up on the top of the mat. You have maybe about a fist width distance in between the two. We want to be in like a tabletop height here. You're going to sit your heels onto your butt, bring your elbows on top of the blocks, hands come into like a prayer position, forehead comes down to the ground, and then bring your elbows back toward the tip of your spine for a tricep stretch. So in addition to your tricep stretch, you're also warming up the lower back. Stretching out the ankles and the tops of the feet. So this height for the blocks is pretty fine, but if you, for some reason, want to intensify this stretch, what you could do, instead of taking it all the way up high, what I would do is maybe double up blocks if you've got like 4 blocks at home. Just an option, not a requirement. Hold for one more inhale, and then as you exhale, let it go. Come on back up to your tabletop position. Blocks can come to hang out at the top of your mat. All 10 fingers are pointed forward, shoulders above the wrists, belly button zips into your spine, hips above the knees, tuck your toes. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the hips, look up, cow pose, and then exhale, push your hips forward for cat. Inhale, arch the spine, drop the belly, and then exhale, round the back, compress the abs. Take 2 more here. One more, inhale, cow, and then exhale, cat, and come on back to that neutral spine. Take your right toes, tuck them to the back edge of your mat. Gently start to rock your body weight forward and backward, getting that nice calf stretch, arch of the foot, ball of the foot. And then from here, you're going to lift your right leg up, and then you're going to reach your left fingertips forward. Belly button draws in nice and tight towards your spine. Evenly distribute your weight between the right foot and the left knee. Inhale, get a little longer. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, reach forward, kick back. Exhale, draw it in. 2 more. This is called bird dog. 1 more, inhale. And then exhale, you're going to plant the left hand down, right leg stays lifted. You're now going to place the right foot on the floor, sole of the foot into the floor. Left hand stays underneath your shoulder. Reach the right fingertips up for a modified side plank. So if this is challenging your balance enough, you can stay here. If you want to intensify the pose, what you would do is lift your right leg up. Good. Keep zipping your belly button in towards your spine. Maybe challenge your gaze. Bring it up over that right arm. Hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently drop it down. Bring both knees and feet together. Sit on top of your heels. Take a child's pose. Make sure you bring your forehead down to the ground in your child's pose here. 1 more inhale through the nose. Exhale out all the way, and then inhale, roll forward back to your tabletop. Tuck your left toes back into the edge of the mat and start to rock the body weight forward and backward, getting that nice calf and Achilles stretch. And then on your next exhale, hold it all the way back, lift the left leg up. So we don't want the left hip peeling open so that you're leaning onto the right side. We want both of your hip bones squared to the floor. So make sure you're squeezing your thighs together. Belly button zips in tight to your spine, and then reach your right fingertips forward, get nice and long. Take an inhale. Exhale, knee to elbow, round. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pull in. 3 more. Inhale, reach forward, kick back. Exhale, in. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more time, inhale. Exhale, round. You're going to drop the right hand back. You're going to now plant the left foot on the ground. Sole of the foot is flat. Reach the left fingertips up for your side plank on the right side. So you can stay just like this with the left foot planted, or if you want to challenge your balance, lift the left leg up. And you can take it 1 step further by bringing your gaze up over the left fingertips. Right wherever you are, we're here for 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back. This time it's an extended child's pose. Knees are as wide as the mat, big toes together, heels apart. Sit on top of your heels and walk your body forward. So in this child's pose, we just sort of intensify the inner thigh stretch here. Your fingertips should stretch all the way for the top of your mat. Forehead is absolutely in the mat. If it does not comfortably reach it, place something underneath your forehead. We never want the head just hanging out in space here. That's going to strain the neck too much. Keep your hips glued to your heels. Now walk your fingertips over to the right corner of your mat. We want to keep the left heel and the left butt cheek connected. And if you walk your left fingertips on top of your right, you should feel a nice stretch in the left side body. Take a big inhale. Exhale out all the way. And then inhale, walk back through the middle of your mat over to the other side. Same idea, keep the right butt cheek and the right heel connected to each other. And if you want to intensify the stretch, walk your right fingertips on top of your left. Hold for 1 more inhale. Exhale out all the way, and then come on back to the middle of your child's pose for 1 more breath. And then when you're ready, rolling through to tabletop position, making our way to downward facing dog. So let's set it up through plank pose. Tuck your right toes back, left toes meet. Here you are in plank. Without moving your hands or your feet, send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. So in your down dog, if the hamstrings feel a little tight, absolutely bend your knees here. Your gaze should be in between your feet or up at your belly button if your neck will allow it. Push your chest back towards your thighs. Feel the shoulders lift and the spine sink. 2 more breaths here. 1 more inhale through the nose. Exhale out all the way. Bend your knees. Now your gaze will come forward. Inhale, walk your feet up to your hands. Hands come to shins, flatten out the back, and then lower your body back down. Inhale, carefully roll up 1 vertebrae at a time, and exhale at the top. So at the top of your mat, feet are about hips distance apart. That's always 2 fists in between your feet. Inhale, reach up all the way, palms meet at the top, and then exhale, lower down. Inhale, hands to shins, flatten out the back. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise up 1 vertebrae at a time, and exhale at the top. Coming down twice more. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, hands to shins, flatten out the back. As you exhale, lower down. This time hold on to opposite elbows here in your ragdoll position. So if your hamstrings still feel a little tight, absolutely bend your knees. You can even rest your belly on your thighs here. You should feel a nice lower back stretch as well. Head is framed by the arms. Nod your head yes. Shake it no. Wrap your hands around your waist, give it a squeeze. Inhale, roll up 1 vertebrae at a time. And exhale at the top. Last time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, hands to shins, flatten out the back. And then as you exhale, lower down, take your peace sign fingers, wrap them around your big toes. If your big toes are far away, bend your knees till you get there. You can even have your belly on your thighs once more. When your next inhale comes, lift the hips. As you exhale, fold your upper body towards your lower body. So big hamstring and lower back stretch here. You can absolutely do this with bent knees. Stay for 2 more breaths. Inhale, lift the hips an inch higher. Exhale, fold a little deeper. 1 more inhale, fill up. Exhale out all the way. Wrap your hands around your waist. Give it a squeeze. Inhale to rise up to stand. So come back to the top of your mat for our first vinyasa. Vinyasas are completely optional. You can choose to modify, which I'll demonstrate first, or skip them completely and meet us in downward dog. So when you're ready, inhale, reach up all the way, palms meet at the top, and then exhale, lower down. Inhale, hands to shins, flatten out the back. As you exhale, plant your hands and step back to your plank pose. So to modify your vinyasa, drop down to your knees, you're in tabletop. Inhale, shift your chest past your hands, hug the elbows in. Exhale, lower down to the bottom of that modified tricep push-up. And then you're going to inhale, lift the chest, baby cobra pose, hug the elbows back. 1 long exhale as you push the ground away, hips over the knees, tuck the toes, down dog. Down dog for about 5 breaths, and if down dog ever doesn't feel comfortable, you can always take a child's pose to modify. You're continuing to press your chest back toward your thighs, lift the hips up nice and high. 2 more breaths here. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. Inhale, fill up. Exhale out. 1 more inhale. As you exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, take 2 steps up to the top of your mat. Hands to shins, flatten out the back. And then exhale, lower back down. Inhale, carefully roll up 1 vertebrae at a time. And exhale at the top. Second one, so this one will be more traditional. You have the option to choose the modified. Inhale, reach up. Gaze and palms meet at the top. And then exhale, lower down. Inhale, hands to shins, flatten out the back. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to your plank pose. From your plank, inhale, shift your chest past your hands, hug the elbows in. Exhale, lower down to the bottom of that modified push-up, maybe hover for a moment. And then inhale, upward facing dog, just the hands and the feet on the mat. Exhale, roll over all 10 toes, downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. So the goal is for downward facing dog to feel like a nice neutral place. If you ever need a break in between sequences, this is an excellent pose to come to regroup. Child's pose is also a great option as well. 2 more breaths here. Inhale, fill up. Exhale out. 1 more inhale. As you exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, take 2 steps up to the top of your mat. Hands to shins, flatten out the back. And then exhale, lower down. Inhale, carefully roll up one vertebrae at a time, and exhale at the top. Great, so from here, have blocks at the top of your mat, and then when you're ready, your left foot is going to stay forward, and your right leg will take a big step back into like a lunge position for a moment. Good, so let's set up the lunge. We want to have the ankle on top of the knee here. You should always be able to see your left big toe. Try not to try not to arch the lower back too much. You want to tip the tailbone down to the ground so there's a nice straight line running through the midline. And then you're going to inhale, reach up for high lunge. So from high lunge, we're going to move into a side angle position here. So you're going to drop your left forearm onto your left thigh, spin the right foot down so the sole of the foot is planted, and then reach the right fingertips up. So in your side angle pose, we're outwardly rotating the right hip, inwardly rotating the left hip. So you have options here. You can stay like this with your forearm resting on your thigh, or if you want to intensify, grab your block. Place your block on the ankle. Hand comes down to the block. Ideally, just like we play with in triangle pose, there's a straight line between both of your arms and your shoulders. And you're using that left arm now to actively press the left hip away from the body. So now we're adding that rotation of the hip. Hold for 3 more breaths here. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Inhale, fill up. Exhale out. 1 more inhale. As you exhale, you're going to lower your right hand down to the ground. Toss your block off, but not too far away. Both hands are framing that front foot. Now spin back on the left toes. On the right toes, you're going to bring your left foot back to meet your right. Here we are in plank. Take an optional vinyasa or come straight to downward facing dog. That's where we'll all meet. Good. Breathe here in downward dog. 2 more breaths. We're going to meet at the top of the mat. 1 more inhale. As you exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, walk your feet up to your hands. Hands to shins, flatten out the back. And then exhale, lower down. Inhale, carefully roll up 1 vertebrae at a time. And exhale at the top. So we're back at the top of the mat. I'll just switch my view for you. Here we are on the right side. So right foot will stay forward. Take a big step back with your left leg. Don't be on a tightrope. We want to bend deeply into that right knee. You should be able to see your right big toe. That means your ankle is stacked on top of the knee. Arms come up, high lunge. From your high lunge, you're going to rotate the left foot down, plant it on the ground. Drop your right forearm to your right leg. Reach the left fingertips up, side angle pose. This is a perfectly fine place to stay, or if you want to intensify, take your block, bring it to the inside of your right ankle. Right hand comes to the block, reach the left fingertips up. Now I want you to use your right elbow, press it into your knee, give yourselves a stretch in the right hip. Try not to dump all of your weight into the right side, into the block. You want to think about lifting up through your abdominals. 2 more breaths. 1 more inhale. And then as you exhale, drop the left hand back to the floor, spin back on the left toes, ditch your block, both hands frame the front foot, step your right foot back to meet your left. There you are in plank pose. And from your plank, you can take a vinyasa or come straight to your downward facing dog. Down dog is where we will all meet. So hopefully every down dog starts to feel a little bit better. Maybe you're able to push your chest a little bit closer towards your thighs and give yourself more of a stretch in the upper back. 2 more breaths. 1 more inhale. As you exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, walk your feet up to your hands. Hands to shins, flatten out the back. And then exhale, lower down. Inhale, carefully roll up 1 vertebrae at a time. And exhale at the top. So we're going to start with the left foot forward again. Have your block handy. Left foot stays forward. Take a big step back with your right foot. Let's set it up in high lunge. So we're building on from that first sequence. Fingertips reach up, high lunge. Now rotate to the sole of the right foot. Bend deeply into your left knee. Left forearm comes to the left thigh. Reach your right fingertips up. Side angle pose. Good. You can drop your hand down to your block on the inside of your ankle. And then from side angle pose, we're going to make our way to lizard pose. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, drop your right hand to the inside of the left foot. Keep your block nearby for sure. Both hands are on the inside of your front foot. Now spin back on the right toes again. You're on the ball end of that right foot. Hands are on the inside of the left leg. And just rock your body weight forward and backward for a moment. So, very intense pose, but we're nice and warm here, so it should be safe. You're rocking forward and backward on the ball end of your right foot, so you're getting that big quad activation, nice calf stretch, sole of the foot. Get your right leg as long as you can, and now drop the right knee down to the ground. Have a blanket or a pillow there if you need that knee support. Curl your toes. Here we are in lizard pose. I just want you to rock your body weight forward and backward. So if being on your hands is super challenging here in lizard pose, bring the blocks underneath your hands. Nothing wrong with that. What you should feel is a really big stretch on the right hip and like an activation or a pinching feeling in the left hip. And then same goes if you're on your hands, you want to intensify the pose, bring your forearms down to your blocks. If you can have one forearm on the block or on the floor, but the other one can't, choose the higher height. We never want to be unbalanced here. Hold for 2 more breaths. One more inhale. As you exhale, gently press the ground away. You can toss your blocks out of the way. Hands are on the inside of your left leg. You're going to gently bring your left knee back to meet your right. Take a child's pose. Good, letting all of that seep in here. 3 more breaths. We're going to make our way back to downward facing dog. One more inhale through the nose. As you exhale, gently roll forward to your tabletop position. From your tabletop, tuck the toes, lift the hips, down dog. So left side should feel nice and loose. We've got the right side to do now. You're going to bend your knees deeply. Gaze comes forward. Inhale, take 2 steps up to the top of your space. Hands come to shins, flatten out the back. And then exhale, lower down. Inhale, carefully roll up 1 vertebrae at a time. Exhale at the top. So have your blocks nearby. I'll just shift my view for you for the other side. So this time, right foot is forward. You're going to take a big step back with the left leg, starting in your high lunge position to set it up. Bend deeply in the right knee. You should be able to see your big toe. That's how we know the knee is stacked on top of the ankle. Now you're going to pivot onto the sole of the left foot here. So it's like a warrior 1 leg. And then drop the right forearm down to the right thigh. Left fingertips reach up. Here's your side angle pose. You can absolutely stay with your forearm on your thigh. Personally, I really like bringing my hand to the block on the inside of my right leg here. I think that when you drop your arm down like that, it allows you to really nail that T shape with the shoulders. Stay for 1 more inhale. As you exhale, gaze comes down to the ground. Your left arm will drop to the floor. Move the block out of the way for a moment. Both hands are on the inside of your right foot now. And then you're going to pivot onto the ball end of the left foot. So here we are setting up in lizard pose. Just start to rock your body weight forward and backward here. Getting that left leg as long as you possibly can. And then when you're ready, drop the left knee down to the ground. Here we are in lizard on the right side. So you have a pretty good side view now of your right leg. Knee is still on top of the ankle. Foot should be completely flat here. If you find it's really hard to keep your foot flat, that means you would need more support. So here are your options. You can place your hands on top of your blocks. If you want to intensify, drop your forearms down. And as always, if you wanted to drop your forearms to the floor, go for it. But I want you to only go to a depth that you can be evenly distributed on both sides. We don't want to be higher on one side, lower than the other. That's going to cause an imbalance. We're here for 3 more breaths. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Inhale, fill up. Exhale out. Hold for 1 more inhale. As you exhale, gently make your way out of this. First, press into your hands. You can shift your blocks off to the side. You're gently going to bring your right knee back to meet your left, and let's meet in 1 more child's pose. This time, bring your knees as wide as the mat, big toes together, heels slightly apart. Sit on top of your heels, and just walk your upper body forward. Forehead comes into the mat. So we were here earlier, and hopefully it feels a little bit different this time. Maybe you're able to reach your fingertips a little bit longer. Maybe you're able this time to make that connection between your hips and your butt, your heels and your butt. 2 more breaths here. 1 more inhale. And then as you exhale, gently walk your hands back towards your knees. You're going to carefully shift over to one side. And you're going to grab your block, carefully lowering down 1 vertebrae at a time. So moving into a supported bridge pose here. In your bridge pose, you want to walk your feet as close to your butt as you can. You should be able to shimmy your arms side to side and reach both of your heels. That's how we know we have that symmetry going on. And then when you're ready, you're going to lift your hips up and place your block at the medium height right underneath your tailbone. So we'll start at the medium height. I'll give you the option halfway through to walk it up to the higher height. So you can stay just like this in your supported bridge pose, or if you'd like to, you can walk your legs out, extend them for the top of your mat. If you're going there, I'd like you to have your heels facing each other, toes facing apart. Your next option would be to reach your arms up overhead. If you feel a pain or a pinching, please do not come to this variation. Come back to that supported bridge pose that we started in. So depending upon what we do all day, gravity is bearing down on us and it forces our body to rotate inward. And when you set the block underneath your tailbone like this, it forces the body to rotate opposite. It helps with that outward rotation. So the hips are rolling away from the body, shoulders are rolling away. You're opening up the lower back, all your abdominal organs, your lungs. You have the option to stay like this, or if you would like to bring the block up to the higher height, what you would do is bring your hands back down by your side, bend your knees, plant your feet. You would lift your hips up, place the block underneath your tailbone at the higher height, and then you would stay like this. So I do not recommend going into with your legs extended with the block all the way at the highest height. I just think that's a little too intense on the lower back. So if you went to that highest intensity of the block, just hold here in your bridge pose. Wherever you are, we're here for about 2 more breaths. 1 more inhale through the nose. Exhale out all the way. From here, come on back to a supported bridge pose if you were still in that first variation. You're going to lift your hips up, remove the block, lower your hips back down. So that was a big back bend. We need to counter it with a rounding motion. So hug your knees in towards your chest. Give yourselves a nice big squeeze. Gently rock side to side on the lower back. So when you're rounding out the spine, you're separating the vertebrae, giving nice space, and that's a really nice way to complement any sort of back bending or arching that we do, just like we did in that bridge pose sequence. And then from here, bring your arms out into a goalpost shape. You're going to bring your knees close to your chest, drop them both over to the left. So with your knees to the left, take your right knee, bring it directly on top of your left knee. That should cause your right shoulder to leave the ground. That's okay. That's where we want to feel the stretch. So the stretch starts in the right shoulder, travels down the rib cage, and stops by about the hip. Hold for 2 more breaths here. Opening up the side body and the rib cage. 1 more inhale. Exhale out all the way, and then use your next inhale to bring your knees back and towards your chest. Keep them really close to your face. Now drop them all the way over to the right. This time, take your left knee, guide it so it's directly on top of your right knee, and which might make your left shoulder leave the ground. That's okay. That's where we want to be. Maybe you get a crack or a pop. Those are good cracks and pops. We're down here for 2 more breaths. So since we're already lying on our right side, all you're going to do now is just bring your right arm over your head and your bicep will become a little bit of a pillow. You're going to bring your left arm over so that you're lying completely on your right side. Allow yourselves a moment to pause. Give yourselves a second to adjust. And then when you're ready, use your left hand as a little bit of a kickstand to gently press you back up to a comfortable seated position. And you are all done today, everybody. Thank you so much.